Brisbanites hailing from Brisbane. Kia ora koutou, no mai haere mai, ki te Ototahi. Welcome to beautiful Ototahi Christchurch for this day 2 of the Division 2 Ultimate Championships here in New Zealand. My name is Kelsey Bielik.
My name is Rachel Sahani Royal.
And we are your eyes and ears on the ground in this matchup today. First game of day 2 between Brisbanites here on screen. They're in green, hailing from Brisbane, versus Zodiac, who is in blue, hailing from Auckland. Now, Rachel, what are you looking to see from the game today?
Well, I'm kind of intrigued. We have a very different day today. We had a very windy, gusty day yesterday, and it's as calm as it can be now. So teams are going to have to adjust and adapt, and we're going to be seeing probably a lot more match than we did yesterday. A lot of zone yesterday. So although now Brisbanites are pulling out of zone.
Yeah, on that note, or it looks like a clam at least to start off with. We've got Xiao to Trong George, and resulting in a turnover. Now, as Rachel was just saying, definitely calmer conditions today. Nonetheless, we still have the morning dew on the grass. So that means that the disc definitely is damp, especially after that turnover. Love the energy there, the intensity that Jessup is bringing. And O'Sullivan can't match that.
Yeah, early start from Jessup. Let's hope we see some of that fire continuing on throughout this game. We have, a very, very damp morning. Cleats are going to be wet. Disc is going to be wet. Zodiac with a short field now, looking to the end zone. We have match and a sick inside shot, but through the hands of the receiver of Xiao, unfortunately.
Yeah, I love that option. Trong George, firing. Beautiful touch on it.
Great low release point on that as well. Really hard to mark, unfortunately. Not able to find the receiver in the end zone.
Yeah, this was an issue we were seeing a little bit yesterday, though. That rapid firing in the end zone, I really like the option. Good choice, but also, first game of the day, warming up. Maybe a bit more discipline would help. A cleaner stack would help. Wow, an interesting shot. I love the creativity on the field there.
Really showing that there's no wind to be spoken of. You can shoot kind of over the stack this morning, and teams are going to have to adjust to that.
That inside out, so outside in forehand break look. Oh, and this one too. What a huge swing. Too far.
Great chase by 23 by Taylor. Great chase. Not able to get there, but I like the commitment, putting your body on the line.
So we can see again, hands, just cleaning the hands off there. But if there are any bobbles with the disc, again, just to remember that it is because the conditions are slightly damp. Xiao with the disc. Another inside shot.
Maybe Xiao wants to take an extra second for her shots. I see what she's seeing on the field. I recognize the options that she's seeing, but those throws not coming out accurate enough at this stage. But those instincts are there.
And Xiao actually recently off a Worlds campaign. She represented Aotearoa New Zealand on QTR, the women's masters team in Irvine, California.
I believe you're familiar with that team, Kelsey.
She was my teammate. So yeah, bringing a lot of that experience to the field. We've got another turnover, and we have Verrill picking up the disc for Zodiac, supported by Huang, finding Chen.
And a nice shot for Xiao with a...
Oh, that breaks your heart, Rachel.
With backup potential from Zodiac. So it's good to see that we have these multiple options for both teams at the moment. I mean, we're early on in the day. This is when people are feeling fresh.
Nice take.
Hot off their warm-up, ready to play.
O'Sullivan with the disc there. Jessup no doubt looking for another big block like she had before. And And I wanna see it tightened up, as you just said, Rachel. I think we're seeing a lot of that fire coming out right now. And sometimes while that's turning into some really great cuts, some options here, some good initiation movements, potentially I think they're not quite as measured with the decisions they're making on both teams. Great connections right now, Chen with the disc.
Yeah, I mean, you want both teams to kind of push each other to hold a high standard. Oh, beautiful. Look at that.
Stunning.
What more can you ask for?
With the point, that's Jessup to Huang. And also I'd love to see Melon Huang. She's in a handler space. You know, as I was saying, I'd like to see a bit more measured decision making. She was looking at options and then shows diversity of depth, of skill on the field, going from that handler space and making that deep look, knowing the receivers. The receivers that can huck and really giving them that option to unleash the throws they have. Jessup also showing depth there.
What a beautiful floaty high release that was. Jessup able to take that under a bit of pressure and then maintain composure for the throw. We get to see that again here.
And so difficult to defend throws like that are put into space so well for the receiver.
I love it when it just floats down in front of you. You know, as a receiver, it's a beautiful thing.
Also, I just props to the respect with the throw. You know, you can put it a little bit too far, make the player lay out for it. You know, the fans love to see that. But yeah, always nicer to be able to catch it in the breadbasket, like Huang did there.
Although I'm hoping we do see some layouts. The grass is definitely layout ready at the moment. You can get quite a few meters on the dewy grass this morning.
So just touching on kind of both of these teams, Brisbanites here on this soil here in Aotearoa, New Zealand, relatively newer, less familiar with the background they're bringing. But Zodiac, in the meantime, are Division 2 champions. We've seen them in the finals. We've seen them take that gold medal. So that's something that they're no doubt looking to repeat this year. Repeat, coming out firing. With that legacy that they're carrying with them.
The Brisbanite ladies, also known as the Iron Maidens, so hopefully we'll see some of their metal this morning. We have a match from Zodiac. It seems like Brisbanites are trying to play a little really tightly covered on the unders, though.
Wong putting a leading pass. I think that was for the strike cut for you there, but finds its way into, I think that was Ines Bartel's hands. A great kind of defensive awareness off the disc.
Yeah, it was a close call. It seemed like there were a couple of receivers and Brisbanites who could have gotten there.
Oh, nice inside
early
pass.
movement here.
It's from Stella Trovitz with the disc.
Oh, and just out of the hands. Maybe that damp disc is coming into play, but yeah, those one-handed low grabs are always tough. We have number 9 now from Brisbanites. Wong picking up the disc, surveying the field. Lots of room.
I love that option. And right now I think Brisbanites just making it easy for each other. Maybe not so much with that catch. Props to Dixon for holding on to it and seeing that in. Love the speed, the closing speed, and just holding on to it, a potentially more challenging catch. But every single throw, boom, 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 leading up to that, they're making it quite easy for themselves. It's something that, you know, when it's challenging, when you have a lot of turnovers, we'll see it one more time. See how easy this throw is to run onto. They're just such safe options. They're executed well. They're making life easy for their receivers, even with a more challenging throw like an inside out. And this one then, props to the receiver, Dixon, with the point.
Yeah, she does a good job of keeping her eyes on that. And and chasing it down. I think they had multiple cuts in the end zone that were open, so it's nice to see them not only providing them, but also making sure that they're clearing out of the way properly.
And that is something that you like to see as well, you know, as a handler, having players clearing space after they make an initiating cut into it to allow for more movements in the field in case they're covered, getting those defenders out of the way. The score is now 1-1. We can see there assist from Amanda Wong to the goal. Number 42, Margie Dixon. Exciting. You have Brisbanites putting one more on the board. Again, score now tied at 1s. Evenly matched game thus far. Only time will tell who will be pushing ahead, coming out on top. Brisbanites now coming out on defense. We're expecting to see more match. Maybe they'll come down in a bit of a clam that they threw before. How will Zodiac respond?
So we have Huang on the disc again. Seems like she's going to be picking up the disc quite frequently this game. Nice high grab there from Black. And another high grab, Zodiac making, asking a lot of the receivers at the moment.
Oh.
Ooh, and Huang with the grab. I like that over the top kind of high release. Difficult to mark.
Looking for options. Again, I really like Huang's poise with the discus stall. No doubt getting high up right now. A breakthrough and finds the hands of Maine Davis. Oh, and it looks like it was a stall out, just as I was saying. The stall, I imagine it was getting high there. And she was doing such a great job, Huang, with the disc, looking at options and really waiting for the right option to come up. And really props to Brisbane Knights' defense there. They were shutting down everything that they were running.
Yeah, I mean, Huang was pretty intent on finding something in the end zone. Maybe a swing a little bit earlier would have been able to create more movement for the Zodiac team. But instead we have this chat here now. It's really hard to discuss stalls. I mean, time is so subjective when you have the disc. 10 seconds or 9 seconds or 11 seconds can feel very different. It seems like it's a stall accepted because the players are signaling a turnover.
Yeah. I don't know, Rachel. I feel like she was left out to dry a little bit with a swing throw with a handler reset.
No receiver for that swing.
Yeah, just kind of locked down. But regardless, I mean, props to a strong mark, strong defense on Brisbanites. And that defense is giving them the option right now. That's what has earned that turnover. The hawk goes up. Oh, wet disc.
That was such a good read by the receiver as well. She was right there under it. Almost hit her in the face, unfortunately. But yeah, as you said, wet disc. And also like early morning jitters sometimes, I feel.
Yeah, it could be. O'Sullivan showing that she has the speed and the catches to get out there. Hopefully it results next time. But in the meantime, Zodiac on offense.
Huang again with the disc. Looking down to Ramia.
Shen, really nice movements right now with Zodiac. They're throwing it at like stall 1, stall 2. So it's showing some great continuation options. Now defense clamping down a little bit more, but I like when they get the disc moving. There's nice flow that they're across. Nicholson throwing it a bit too far. Oh, sorry, that's Maine Davis throwing.
Maine Davis trying to lead her swing, but unfortunately Huang was already at full pace and wasn't able to get there. So we're about halfway up the field for Brisbanites, and we have another huck. We see Brisbanites really favoring that huck, and
Huang! She's everywhere. She's behind the disc. She's handling. She's cutting deep for it. She's getting those big skies on defense. What a play.
Yeah, it was a good peel off the back of the sack from Huang. Good recognition from her. I'm loving this early. We're seeing a lot of hucks seeing a couple of hucks from Brisbanites, showing that their longer game has to be respected as well. And so Zodiac did a good job of covering that. And we have an early shot here. Oh, and
what a read.
What a read.
Yeah, what a read. I mean, yeah, really well done. Really well done. Yeah, recognition. I think really great read there. Interesting, as you were just saying, Rachel, that Brisbanites really kind of hammering it towards the end zone, those last 3 possessions that they had. Hammer to the nail, hammer to the wood, just boom, 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 putting those hucks up. But when you have, a receiver like that, once again, it's a high release. It's floating high in the air. It gives defense time to run underneath it. But again, throw to your receiver, trust the receiver, choose who you're throwing to, and pulling it down. A great point for Brisbanites, putting 2 on the board.
And that was O'Regan Artaud with the goal there. So I'm hoping to see kind of more hucks from Brisbanites. I mean, that would be pretty exciting for us to watch. But also, I'd like to see like consistency from them. If that's what they're trying to do on purpose, it would be good to be kind of punishing Zodiac in a way with those throws. Seeing if Zodiac can adapt to that and end up trying to change up the strategy to cover it.
Definitely. Right now, though, they will have to get the turnover before showing what their strategy will be on offense. And one thing I wanted to comment on that's really interesting with the defense that Brisbanites is playing, they're quite saggy in the setup, or what they have been. See how they're covering the underspace. There's a lot of poaching. It almost looks like a zone. Well, maybe it is a zone until they pick up players, and now they've melted into a match, it looks like. No, maybe they're still in a zone. It's something that they've been running the past few points, though. Really making life difficult for the offense.
Yeah.
Now sticking in that saggy, that zone structure.
I feel like they're focused. I mean, it looks like they're focusing on kind of taking away on a big shot there for Zodiac.
Oh my gosh. Oh, let me take that throw out and treat it to a nice dinner. That was so beautiful.
Tang with the score. That was a beautiful throw. It looked like it was a dream to run onto for
a dream.
Tang.
That was just stunning.
But I feel like Brisbanites are just trying to pressure the first option, making Zodiac prove that they can throw the second option, the third option, the fourth option, just something a little bit harder. And I kind of appreciate that if a team is not able to stand up to that pressure, that defense can be really effective. I mean, that underspace is just being so covered.
One more time. So we saw Xiao back to Jessup, and oh, what a dream to run onto that. Tong catching it in the end zone with plenty of space. And props to Jessup for the give-go movement. They're really setting it up and then using that power position, that forward momentum to launch it into space. Again, so hard to play defense against a throw like that when it's beautifully put into space. Zodiac doing a great job with the first point they put on the board. That Huang scored. Again, I think that was Jessup who put that as well. Showing really great poise with the leading passes for her teammates.
So we have it's a tied game. It's been pretty tight so far, but that we have had one break so far from the Brisbanites. So, and just off the fingertips here. So Zodiac with a chance to get that break back.
And it looks like now, as expected, they're running a match defense. Huang putting it to the break side, going up high. But that's the value of backup defense. We've got Zhang centering to Chen. Finding Black.
I like that. Everyone has their eyes on the disc, even if it's not meant for them. Huang again looking to move the disc.
Finds Bartel. Also recently coming off the championships. Wow, I feel like, if hands up, she could have gotten the D. Obviously, we can't tell in the commentator booth. Sometimes it's difficult to tell proximity to the disc, but I feel like, the defense maybe just gave up for a moment. At the same time, sometimes just your presence can be enough to bobble the disc, and she, showed she was there. She got on the mind.
Yeah, losing sight of the disc can be can make it a little makes it much more difficult. Can make it much more difficult to catch, and this time it worked for Brisbanites. So being in the way was a good move by them.
Kennedy to Trong George.
We have a deep cut, but it was quite a kind of maybe late in the stall count for that throw to go up. But instead, they're working it across the field.
Nice movement right now from Brisbanites, and the hawk goes up. It's Blady. That's, a tough catch to make. I hope the disc is okay. Looks like it may have gotten stood on.
I mean, I think it's more of a stomp on the disc.
Stomps on. Yeah, well, the handlers will figure that out. Yeah, again, Brisbanites coming out on match defense. I want to I want to unpack what they're doing on defense, especially with the zone they were playing, the sagginess melting into match. Right now, they're doing a little bit of switchiness, kind of just heads-up defense. Great play right there, great vision.
Perhaps only wanting to set up that little switchy zone if they're coming out on defense, and instead preferring the security and match on a turn.
Disc goes up.
We have number 40 with the disc now. That's Murabito.
Zodiac with another opportunity on offense. And I feel like right now both teams really matching each other well with tempo. They're matching each other well. It's a very similar with the flowy movement. They're doing a really great job of providing options, continuations. As soon as the disc is caught, there's another option coming out. Wow. A massive blade coming out. That's a hard catch to make.
I think it was a late stall throw. There was a little bit of stagnation on the field, I think.
Good
just in that
defense.
1 point.
Yeah, when they get the disc moving, both teams are doing such a great job at finding those players. But as soon as defense clamps down,
I like that.
Wow!
Excellent take there by O'Sullivan from O'Regan Artaud. That was I like how she was throwing it to that corner no matter what, I feel.
Yeah, that is a hard catch. There's a lot of blades coming out, and the thing with those is they drop right on the receiver. They can be so good. They're not floating, but it pinpoints where they're going. But at the same time, it's quite difficult to make those catches. So props to O'Sullivan. Yeah, apologies to Saoirse O'Sullivan. Have confused her name before in previous points. She's just everywhere, but props for making that catch under pressure. Just sticking right to her hands.
It is the right weather for blades after all. It's as I said earlier, it's dead still. It's like the complete opposite of yesterday. So we can be expecting some different, maybe possibly a bigger range of throws. Lots of floatier stuff that we weren't able to throw yesterday.
Unfortunately for the receivers, tough to catch in the wind, and then as soon as it's not windy, it means you can throw more exciting things like blades, hammers, over the tops, upside downs, which in their own right are difficult to catch. So maybe life is not any easier for the receivers on the field, but definitely easier for the throwers to find those options and be a bit more creative with the throws, again, which we've seen. In the first point, that Brisbanites throwing that break side throw that was an outside in forehand to the break side of the field. Not often that you see something like that coming out, but really difficult to D a throw like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can be covering the open side all you want, but as soon as that over-the-top slicey throw comes in, it just feels like, ooh. And I think that 87, Johnson got a hand to that dump pass there. So
looks like it.
Too casual from Zodiac. That one's always tough because you feel like, and a quick turn, more damp disc, I feel, is making it difficult to make those grabs, so we have another chance for Zodiac now.
Engaging for the reset, Verrill with the disc. Finding Maine Davis to Xiao.
Good quick move from Xiao, but unfortunately it's a turnover, and we have Brisbanites now.
Just like the wind, Rachel, at least if the disc is damp, if it's slightly wet conditions, it's equal to both teams. It's not favoring one side or the other. It's results in turnovers that break my heart a little bit, that I don't want to see, but, at least it's equal on both sides.
Absolutely. Wong working hard to get the disc back. I like the physicality from the Brisbanites. They've been, they're really using their bodies on the catches to make sure that they're securing that. And we have a call. Not everyone on the field realizes it, so we're going to have
they still haven't.
Back.
Yeah, disc will be so that call was called. It was a travel, indicating that Wong was moving in the moment and dragged her back foot. She didn't establish a pivot, or she may have changed direction. But regardless, it was two throws before the point. It was one throw before the point. So well before disc goes back, and even though you think, well, she may have dragged her foot a little bit, it may not fully have impacted the play, but sometimes dragging your foot or moving a little bit more can be just enough to get around your mark or give you a slight advantage.
Yeah, I mean, there's some players that travel a lot but don't realize it as well. I think sometimes, especially when it comes to that back foot on longer throws or hucks, and sometimes it can be hard as the mark to actually recognize it. So now the rules have changed a couple years ago to say that anyone on the field can make those calls. So
definitely, when you're on the mark, you're looking elsewhere. You're focused on the disc, where the defense, where the reset might be.
And we see a very similar throw go up the second time around, but Zodiac getting under it instead.
Ramia, great kind of aggressiveness on defense, great tenacity, chasing that down.
Zhao now in the surveying the field. She's got a really quick release on her forehands. And we've got 77 on Dehennen with the D there. Yeah,
showing, kind of tit for tat, where Ramia had that great D before for Zodiac. Dehennen coming through and showing that it's a very similar play style with both teams.
Yeah, great pursuit by both of them. I like how they're both...
Amazing again, the creativity. I love it.
But yeah, I'm loving the defensive pursuit by both teams. They're both running down the disc. Nothing's a sure thing.
Oh, you can't say no to that separation.
Absolutely not. A strike cut with a couple meters separation is, you can't ignore that.
You can't ignore it, yeah. Great initiative by, I think that was number 3. Looks like a timeout has been called after that point. Both teams taking a break. We'll see that point one more time, though, and that separation... that separation and the low release, the execution on that throw, making it such an easy catch. You with the disc
So that's the second break by Brisbanites. So I think we're gonna see Zodiac calling that, trying to regroup themselves. Oh, look, I love that low release.
To you, yeah.
The Brisbanite player just, getting all the way down into her squat for that throw.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, Rachel, as you just said, second break for the Brisbanites. So what do you think is happening in these conversations right now? If you were Zodiac, for example, what's on your mind?
I think actually quite a few of their errors have just been from little slip-ups with drops, and I think maybe talking about focusing on catching the disc before we're thinking about the next thing. So really seeing the disc into your hands. I mean, visualization can be a really powerful tool for those kinds of drops, because I mean, we all know that we can catch it. We've done it before. We'll do it again in the future. But just making sure that we secure the disc first before we think about anything else. But they've been moving the disc really effectively. I think it's unfortunate that those drops have been hindering them. It's been tight, and I think that both these teams are pushing each other. So hopefully Zodiac are able to reassess as a team, and we'll be able to see some more tight Frisbee.
Definitely. And also, I mean, strategically calling a timeout in a situation like this, after the other team has scored a few points, 2 breaks in a row, it stops that momentum a little bit. It provides time for them to lower their heart rates, have a conversation, and that is different than being on the field and maintaining that momentum, running, making those passes, So even calling a timeout can be enough to stop what they're doing. But we'll see what they'll be doing on offense, what Zodiac will be doing on offense now that they're out on the field. Just a quick commentary. Wong now with 2 assists, 2 of the 4 points that Brisbanites have, really showing herself, that flashed on the screen before, but really showing herself as a key player on the field. So, if Zodiac does turn the disc, she no doubt will be one of the players that they're looking to shut down. Otherwise, will be a weapon looking to assist or potentially score herself more points for Brisbanites. So, commentating now, looking at the defense. I just, the way Brisbanites have been playing defense, the tenacity that we've seen Zodiac matching, but also like the zone they've been running, a little bit of sagginess. I'm curious to see. I want to see Zodiac kind of flow through that. They have done a really good job the two points ago, I think, when Brisbanites threw that zone. So I'm curious to see kind of what they're doing and how, they're trying to shut down, what their strategy is.
Yeah, I'd love to see some purposeful play from Zodiacs against this zone. I want to see them recognize what's in front, what's being played on them, and then have a plan for it. So they have actually a non-playing coach with them today.
Don't like that. I don't like
ideal.
it. She was, I stand by that decision. That was a great throw. Open player. I think Zodiac's been doing. Actually, I think they're going to do a great job breaking that zone. They're just in their own minds about it. Nonetheless, the hug goes up. Can she get there? Oh, the disc is fading away.
Sullivan in pursuit of the disc there, but it just didn't float long enough for her to be able to run onto that.
Even with that hot closing speed, she was in pursuit, but even, a big layout.
I thought we might be treated to a layout there.
It's not going to be big enough.
Still looking for a layout.
There was in the first point, there was when it came wide with that swing pass, but yeah, looking for more.
Good break side cut from Black, but the mark is covering that. We have Skulsa on the mark. Oh, and an early turn, that little cheeky backhand, possibly some contact on the throw, which is why it came out too short. We have discussion now between Skulsa and the Zodiac player.
And Skulska, Rachel, as you were just saying, it was a great break cut from Black, but Skulska doing such a good job stopping anything from going to that break side. She was everywhere on the mark, potentially a little too much on the mark, resulting in the what looks like uncontested foul. I imagine would have been contact on the disc there.
So that stall will reset. So the Zodiac player will now have another full 10 seconds to make her throw.
And I want to see the connections. It looks like Brisbanites now coming down in match defense. And I think that's a smart decision. The intensity they've been bringing on match. Oh, the disc goes up.
Oh, and Chen just reading that a little wrong, unfortunately. A little short on that. So a very short field for Brisbanites now with Origa Narteau looking for the swing. I think she's doing a good job of not being too end zone focused.
Taylor
Beautiful movement.
Great open side. And Huang looking to make that defensive play similar to how she has done in the past, but can't quite get the same height. The touch on the disc leading just around the defender, so well placed.
Yeah, I mean those kinds of scores can be tough because as a defender, you're covering the open side or the side that your team is deciding to have be the open side, but unfortunately, sometimes those little floatier throws in this weather on the break side, even if you're right there, it just goes over your head. I feel like sometimes it's a mentality change when you're on defense. You need to be able to have like a hunger for the disc. And I like to think of it as like pretending you're on offense when you're on defense. And so when the disc goes up, you want to chase it down like it was sent up for you.
Meant for you. Yeah, that's a good mentality to have. I love Huang's positioning there, you know? Like arguably, she's doing everything right. She's in position to make that defensive play, but, you know, the touch on the disc, it's so well placed. I think that was Hamilton with the assist. She's just got the right angle, the right touch, so it sails over her defender. Or was it Sturgis? Apologies. Sturgis with the assist. And showing the experience with the throw to know where it needs to be to place it just right.
So that was another break for Brisbanites. They've strung a couple in a row now, so they're probably feeling pretty good. They've been really athletic and physical this morning in a good way. They've just showing Zodiac that they're here to run hard.
And Zodiac, you know, their zone is providing challenges. I think Zodiac still. They've been doing a good job at finding the open players and getting open. I think their struggle is more on their parts. They're making the turnovers, not making the completions. I like it when Brisbanites play match, actually, because the pressure and intensity they're bringing, it seems to me, has been generating more turnovers. They've melted into a match defense right now. And that's throwing behind the player. Bartel there having to turn around, but it goes into the hands of the defender.
We have Brisbanites. They're looking all over the field. We have Wong working.
Wong and Yu.
Space. Yeah,
the dynamic duo, it seems, for Brisbanites. They've been doing such a good job commanding the field. An unfortunate turnover. It gives Zodiac another opportunity on offense. We've got Verrill going to pick up the disc, supported by Murray.
A nice cut from the back of the stack and an excellent D by Yu. Yu just. Yeah, not stopping on that coverage, willing to run through the disc. Zodiac are kind of being punished for not attacking the disc enough.
Hennen, beautiful inside shot to Henderson. Oh, well placed. Again, that angle just floating over the defense.
And also like a completely unmarked Brisbanite player as well. So I think there might have been a little bit of a mix-up on who was covering that player because while it was on the break side, I don't think she had anyone marking her.
No. Yeah, a lot of separation there. Great throw. Dehennen, with the touch on the disc, a really well-deserved point. So we'll see that one more time. Punishing, or maybe there's confusion with the throw. It looks like when it went to the side there, that was the open side. Maybe the force was middle. It's ambiguous to see kind of which way they're forcing. You know, it seems for the last three forces, the marks that have been put on, that looks like an open side throw. Here we'll see it looks like it was a break. Bartel forcing the other direction.
Possibly more of a flat mark.
And then here, it looks like that was an open side. So maybe there's confusion. Maybe that's part of their strategy.
The confusion strategy.
You know, you say that too with sometimes. It's not a zone and it's not match. You might call it a junk, but it's just really, you know, marking space, just switching things up and getting in the way. And while that can lead to chaos and disaster, it can also lead to chaos and success.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think we've seen in recent years switchy match and zone in still weather has become more common in New Zealand in general. I feel like previously Christchurch was kind of renowned for zone, whereas nowadays I feel like all across country it's becoming more common. I mean, there's kind of trends almost in coaching strategies in Ultimate. Big shot from Hong, but the receiver on the other side of the, in the wrong third of the field.
Hamilton, great vision with that. Launches it downfield, so multiple coverage, and Huang there, putting her height on display.
We had a huck for a huck there. We'll see if we
Air
get another
Force
one.
Huang coming out with the high defensive plays. Tongue. Oh, looking to find Chen. Can she find Xiao? She does. She fires it, and Xiao with the point for Zodiac. They needed that, Rachel.
He did, and that was some great flow there. I really liked the athleticism from Chen, like pursuing that disc. It's good to see, and yeah, just putting in their point, getting that little, remembering what it feels like, able to string together all those passes needed. Definitely,
and that's what I want to see. Zodiac strategically taking the time out earlier. It didn't serve them so well when they came out of it. That shows experience. It shows depth for the Brisbanites. There's a pause in play, but they're still coming out with that momentum, keeping it, the iron hot, keeping it going. And Zodiac, I feel like it's within the realm of their control to bring things together a little bit more. So really nice to see that out on the field. I want to see them. Yeah, there's just some little errors that have crept into their gameplay from the first 2 points they put on the board. So great to see them just clean that up, tighten things up a little bit to string those passes together.
And Zodiac have shown that they can get turns back on Brisbanites, so it's not a case of not being able to get the disc back. And whenever I'm going out in defense, that's kind of the thing I'm focusing on, is getting a turn. Like, throwing it is secondary to first getting the turn. So knowing that they have that capability and have shown that against Brisbanites, forcing a turn rather than just letting Brisbanites have an unforced error. So both teams are still in this. I mean, we've had 4 breaks now from Brisbanites, so they do have a bit of a points buffer at the moment. But Zodiac have shown that they're able to rally.
Able to rally, most definitely. And a very wide stack. It looks like they might be running a Pearl of sorts through Murabito, who has the disc right now. She's engaging her reset. And the disc goes up. Oh, that's rough. Murray on defense running to cover. Not quite closing in, but again, that's the dew on the grass, the dew on the disc that just slips through the hands.
Henderson was able to be right under that throw, but not able to. Oh, and there's a call now. Jessup saying there was contact on her bid at the disc. It seems like Yu is signaling that she accepts that call. I like a good quick resolved call. And
in the meantime, Black off to the races, ready for a continuation. But yeah, everyone has to be on the same page, in the position they were when the foul happened before play continues. It was a great receipt. That throw went so high. So yeah, it was a good read.
Ooh, and unfortunately, we see another just out of the hands again from Zodiac.
Great recognition from Murray as she's picking up Dixon, who's streaking deep, looking for potentially a deep option.
Oh, I like that dump coverage there. Just not able to get it.
Another high disc.
Jessup.
Yeah. She's been putting in so much hard work for her team.
Yeah, she's demanding the disc quite a bit, and in a good way, and she's been really creating movement for the Zodiac team.
Oh, a nice take. Wong with the disc, looking for a big reset back to Jessup.
And a little leading pass to 14, but there is a pick in the stack.
Yeah, Trong George with so much separation there. And so when you see the pick call on the field, it's not surprising. It's a great way to create separation, by having your defender have to either initiate contact or avoid contact. So a great safe call from Brisbanites.
Yeah, I think that cut when you come from the far side of the stack and you cut across the front of the
stack.
Ooh, and that is Zodiac with
their separation. That was huge.
Zodiac with their own break now.
Salatrovitz. Yeah, there was so much separation. Such a safe throw. A really great open side cut. She's going towards the cone, and nice to see that, where Brisbanites have been coming out break after break, Zodiac is responding now. Have they cleaned it up? Are they making those tightened passes? I really hope so. I want to see them rise to the occasion. They definitely are right now.
I mean, I kind of want to see from Zodiac a little bit. Maybe they're working on their breaks a bit more. I think they're relying quite a bit on using their downfield athleticism to get just open on the under open side. So if they are able to utilize the other half of the field a bit more, I think it'll put Brisbanites more on the back foot. So instead of just needing to cut harder and faster and receive it on the open side, maybe being a bit more strategic about what their handlers and their throwers are doing.
Definitely. We have, in the meantime, Huang with the disc. Will no doubt, be looking to put the best pull she can. In the meantime, we've seen a lot of match defense from Zodiac, so we'll see if they switch that up. I think match defense has been serving them quite well against the players. They've been bringing out a lot of tenacity on defense and really contesting a lot of the 50-50 throws that Brisbanites have been putting up. Looks like same strategy, pointing to show clarify which players they have. The disc goes up. Ooh. 2 outside in forehands in a row. And that is a great catch. Saoirse O'Sullivan, she is a weapon on offense.
That was some economic Frisbee as well.
In this economy, Rachel, they're doing it right.
Yeah, I think it was just 2 throws, wasn't it?
Just 2 throws, yeah. Very similar, outside and forehands. Interesting to see. So these types of throws, I think, would really have been punished yesterday in the wind. But here, it's quite high for the receiver. But, Brisbanites showing that there's no issue in receiving slightly challenging throws. I love this closing speed. O'Sullivan, just such a great receiver. You love to be throwing to someone like that.
Absolutely. And O'Sullivan setting that cut up, early on. So she was already kind of at pace by the time the disc was in the hands of the person who threw the assist.
Yeah. Great continuation.
Good timing.
Timing with the continuation cut. Very economical, and that's the way you want to be scoring points. It's incredibly efficient, saving legs on the field, racking up more points on the board. Great offense.
Especially for Brisbanites, they haven't got the biggest roster, so they're going to be wanting to save legs. I mean, it's a 2-day tournament, so you kind of want to be making sure that you're using all of the energy you have over the course of the 2 days and trying to work out strategically when is the best to use that energy.
And we're seeing just the brief highlight that popped up there, Saoirse O'Sullivan showing herself with stats on this team that she is highlighting herself as a key player. I think we mentioned Yu before. Yes, as well as Amanda Wong in handler space. They've been working well together, but Saoirse O'Sullivan as well, a key player that Zodiac will have to be shutting down when they're on offense if they want to win this game as well. Zodiac right now on offense in their own right. Incredible handler movement right now. Just quick swings, easily finding the open players, making life easy for themselves, I would say. Providing safe options.
Great break throw from Maine Davis.
Bartle engaging the reset. Finding Verrill.
Yeah, I feel
Xiao coming under.
I feel like Zodiac is really relying on using kind of the outside spaces on the field, like around the side, down the line. They're not really shooting it through the middle nearly as much as Brisbanites are. So maybe that's something they want to adjust to.
Nice movement. Bartle really commanding the disc. She's previously been more of a cutter, showing her depth as a hybrid player right now in that handler space. And that defensive pressure. We saw Zodiac, they were in their own heads. They were making turnovers, but right there, Brisbanites bringing the intensity on defense, generating that. That's heartbreaking. What disc? It's hard to reel in.
Tough turn to see.
Great decision. You want to be rewarding those good decisions. Zodiac with another opportunity on offense. Bartle engaging options.
And we see some good adjustment on the dump coverage.
A great take. That was such a clean defensive play. Now, Brisbanites forcing these last 2 turnovers themselves.
And we see another big shot from Brisbanites.
Beautiful. Oh, beautiful.
Oh, and initially very open Brisbanites cutter was open, but unfortunately it's out of the reach of you.
I love that flow, though. That hug going up. Brisbanites doing such a great job of. It's just so nice to see the throws. They're so clean to the cuts, really on both ends. They're playing nice ultimate, so hard to see that, just go to space in the end zone. Zodiac with another opportunity. Now, the last 2 turnovers that have happened, we're going to say were generated by the defense, and that one a bobble. Instead, I think offensively generated. Brisbanites knocking on the scoring door.
Ooh, and just good job from the Zodiac to really put that disc to ground there. That was just kind of tipped up by one of the Brisbanites players.
Yeah, Ramia showing that, when there's a bobble, she's got it down. And interesting to see right now, we've got Yu, who's on the mark, but she's really covering a lot of the undercuts. I really respect that defense. She may not have started the stall. She's too far away, but she's just shut down so many options.
Yeah, she was looking downfield, even though she was marking the disc. So kind of sometimes having your back to the thrower can be useful. And too far for the Zodiac player. But yeah, having it as a marker, if you're surveying the options rather than the player, sometimes that can be useful.
Brisbanites still, this is a hard area for Zodiac. One throw could be the points. What great separation. Great points.
Sometimes I love the simplicity of just having a one-on-one matchup in the end zone.
Eriksson Arto to Wong for the points.
But yeah, there's an isolation in the end zone can make your job really easy.
Definitely. And I really enjoy that we had Wong in the end zone there. In the meantime, Elena, you coming around for a lot of separation if she wanted to swing it. It's the best place to be as a thrower when you have 2 ideal options, a really safe swing pass, a really safe downfield throw. In that situation, rude not to just throw the point. But I love to see that Wong with the point, but that you also had the swing. She was giving options, and they were both so open. Just a really great offense right there.
And that with that score, Brisbanites have taken half. So we will be taking a quick break while the teams also rest. We've seen some quick fire Frisbee this morning, and so that hopefully they'll be able to regroup and get some water on board.
Definitely. Thank you for joining us for this first half. Stay tuned. Go hydrate. Put on some sunscreen. The sun's coming out, team. But yes, stay with us. We'll be back soon for the second half. Until then, I'm Kelsey Bielik.
I'm Rachel Siahani Royal.
See you soon.
Welcome back to Brisbanites versus Zodiac to New Zealand Ultimate Championships Div 2 2025. We are in ULTI.TV Christchurch this morning, the second half of the first game of the day. So we have Brisbanites leading at the stage 8-4, so they're up 5 breaks at the moment. There have been quite a few turnovers. We've only seen one clean hold from each team, meaning that they scored without turning it over. So I think that's showing that both teams have the ability to create turns, and they just need to work on converting their turns into breaks instead. It's very easy to say, but the fact that you can get the disc back if you turn it over is kind of a buoying thought.
Guys, just wow. Wow, just wow. I mean, you're looking at the score, 8, Brisbanites have 8, Zodiac have 4, very obviously right in front of you, but less obviously, you're looking at the turns, Zodiac has more turnovers. And the simplest of equations, how do you play Ultimate? You throw and catch. That's how you score a point. And if you do that well, you're going to win the game if you do it better than the other team. So Zodiac right now need to maintain that. In the meantime, we have Brisbanites looking to keep the iron hot, keep striking, because they're doing such a good job at punishing the turnovers, whether they're generating the Ds or Zodiac just taking advantage of the mistakes, the cracks that Zodiac is giving in the foundation. A quick release, and we have Dixon now over to the sideline working with you.
And a backup player there, Wong able to catch that throw intended for you. Wong working hard now.
Dehennen with a beautiful low release. And yeah, Wong and you together all day. The dynamic duo with the Brisbanites have been doing such a good job working with each other. Wow.
And
wow.
a very clean hold there from Brisbanites.
Yeah, they've done such a good job consistently at putting the disc into space for their receivers, making life easy. So, defense in position, they're covered. Defense, I think Zodiac's doing a good job. Bartel on the shoulder, but it's hard to D a throw like that.
Absolutely.
It's just a testament to the space.
I mean, they're using that little, maybe they only have 1 or 2 meters of separation, but they're using that really well, and they're using that separation in the right direction for the receivers. I think I really appreciate the physicality of Brisbanites, and also of a lot of Australian teams. Not to say that, New Zealand teams are extremely athletic too, but as we talked about a little bit yesterday, there are different styles of play, and I've noticed that Australian teams definitely tend to be really physical and really do put their bodies on the line and in the way. So Zodiac, hopefully they can adjust that and kind of meet the Brisbanites team where they are playing in that physicality.
Definitely. And they have an opportunity now on offense. And we were just talking about holds there. Brisbanites with a clean hold on offense. They started on offense, no turnovers. A little bit of backup definitely for the players, but, showing just great execution with, as we're saying, the throws and the catches for a great point. So now Brisbanites coming out on defense. Can Zodiac cinch this as a clean hold to put one on the board for themselves?
So we have Jessup, who's had a lot of touches and has been instrumental in the Zodiac game now with the disc. The Zodiac player's quite close to her, so not really creating a lot of space.
Murray with a great strike cut, separation of her own, just like the last point we saw, catching a low disc.
Again, some really close cutting from the handler reset there.
Oh, finding Xiao, and it floats out of bounds. And I think I wanted a little bit of earlier recognition. Xiao was standing there. It looked like she was poached for a second or two before I think, Murray recognized that. I'm not sure if defense got a touch to the disc there or not, but regardless, now a very, very slight breeze floating towards the stands, towards the far side of your screen. And, this is pretty inconsequential in Ultimate Frisbee, but if there's not a lot of touch on a throw or if it's going to fade, it might fade to the far side of the screen. And that's out of bounds in this instance.
Yeah, they were working down that sideline, quite close to it the whole time. We see now Brisbanites well spaced out in the field. And a big put. Oh, sick nice take there.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful. Oh, tough.
Oh, that was
that was very cool.
Nice shape on the throw, but it just popped out of the one-handed grab attempt. And another turn back, so Brisbanites get another bite at the apple now.
Xiao putting too much power on that throw. It goes, I think, a bit farther than intended. Taylor picking up for Brisbanites. Ooh, great defensive pressure. I love that. But Hamilton with the disc.
So we see a deep option signaling openness that just from the right-hand side of the screen. But
and that's a tough catch, you know. Hamilton chasing that down, but one hand, I think if she'd gotten two, it would have been a catch. But it's tough when it's just slightly too far, a bit of a reach.
Verrill now picking up the disc with her gloves on against the dampness of the grass.
Oh, that was a great straight cut. Maybe not quite engaged though.
Ooh, and a run through there, number 14.
That was great. O'Sullivan.
O'Sullivan, yes. She's been. We've said her name before this game.
Regan Arto looking for options.
Their give-go has been excellent. As soon as they're releasing the disc, they're on the move.
O'Sullivan looking for options, finding the reset, and we've seen quite a few of those outside in forehands coming from Brisbanites. I think it might be the favored throw for the whole team. In this case, that very slight breeze or a little bit too much power behind it, fading it away from the receiver.
I think that one is also just a late stall throw. And another a round throw from Zodiac this time from Jessup.
Ooh, that's tough.
Yeah, just through the arms there.
Yeah.
But again, you saw Zodiac kind of, I don't know, I just want them to spread out a bit more. I feel like they're not isolating specific players to receive the disc. Instead, they're all trying to cut into the same space.
And those last two turnovers, Zodiac just there, that turnover just there. I love the options. I love that they're throwing that. You know, it's not silly decisions by any means. It's just baubles, like, you know, lack of execution, miscommunication, you know, a bit too far for the receiver in this situation. We have Zodiac with an open swing. Interesting to not look at that immediately. Instead, faking options downfield, but Jessup bailing out her team. We have Black with the disc.
Ooh, see, and then good attack from Brisbanites.
Definitely great defensive pressure.
Kind of what I was talking about earlier in terms of, you know, getting your body in the way of that D.
Oh, great closing speed there, Hamilton.
Nice shot from Hamilton, using her fake to swing her mark.
To Sturgis in the end zone for the points. There was a textbook point. I love that.
I mean, there were too many turns for textbook, possibly.
The connection, the open side cut. I think, Brisbanites really punishing the open side quite a bit. Maybe some notes that Zodiac could take in the downfield. See the separation on the open side already.
Yeah, absolutely.
Zodiac a little bit out of position, so making sure to stay on that open side would definitely help them out.
We get to see this score again, tracking that disc down. Good focus on the disc. Moves her player with that fake.
That's the textbook.
Yeah, I mean, open side cut. You can't really beat that.
No.
I mean, you want to cover it.
Yeah. But well-deserved point to Brisbanites, who will be coming out on defense. It looks like down there we have, as I've mentioned, the dynamic duo, Yu and Wong together, who will no doubt be in the handler space. Meanwhile, Zodiac, wondering what they'll bring out, anything different potentially on offense.
Yeah, I feel like there's been a bit more rotation from Brisbanites in between the handlers and the downfielders, or the cutters and the handlers. So they're really utilizing just what's been given to them in the space in the field, whereas I think there's a bit more of a distinction between the throwers and the cutters on Zodiac. So we'll see if they can potentially work both halves of the team together a bit more.
Selatrovitz centering the disc, and that's a huge swing pass, but that's all good when you've got receivers to back it up. Brisbanites in a zone right now, so they're marking space. Looks like a 2-3-2.
Yeah, and Zodiac really hasn't put a lot of big throws up in terms of deep hops.
Nice positioning, really finding that open player.
So that Brisbanite zone is kind of really focusing on the unders instead, and it has worked quite a bit so far this game.
You know, we've seen hints of this. We've seen, like hints of flavor of Zodiac breaking the zone and finding those open spots, and I think that they've been creating their own issues.
And now we see a big shot.
Unleashing it. Wow. That's hard.
I like the bigger throw. They're really showing Brisbanites that you need to protect the back of the field as well as all of those unders.
It's not my favorite zone, and I say that because I think Brisbanites have been doing such a good job with match defense. They've been generating so many turnovers with match defense. So I want Zodiac. They've been unlocking things themselves. They've been finding those options, but they're the ones generating the turnovers in the zone, is what I've seen more. Whereas on match defense, which we're seeing right now, I just love to see the tenacity and intensity that Brisbanites are bringing to shut that down. I think they're doing a great job with that. A great low catch from Ramia.
And I think there was a pick in the stack. So we have it was a turnover, but potentially going back depending on whether the players decide whether it affected that play.
Why would it have affected the play, Rachel?
I find it's hard to tell sometimes when if the pick is called or a play is called, a call is made too early on, you can never know where you would have been on defense. Sometimes it's best just to go back. You can say I would have been there, or I would have been close, or maybe I would have been in the way. And sometimes you don't even need to actually touch the disc to get a D, as we've seen in this game. You just need to be in the way.
The mental D, as I like to say. You're just there. You're in the way. You're intimidating. You're in the other player's head.
You're a complicating factor in the catch.
Indeed, a complicating factor.
So players discussing that now.
So if you stopped because of the call, as Rachel was just saying, if you stopped playing defense, you stopped whatever you were doing because of it, then you could argue that something could have theoretically happened. So right now, good to see some robust conversation on the field. I love the scooper pass back. Actually, it's a really great throw.
Yeah, so we'll see the players adjust the positioning on the field to where they would have been if the pick hadn't happened. So disc, I think going back in this case is best. You never know what would have happened otherwise. And we get Zodiac with another chance to score here.
Hunt looking for options, finding a safe swing. Selatrovitz. Oh, that's back to Hunt now. And there's so much spread in the stack. It makes it difficult. Yeah, difficult for clean cuts to come out. A foul call from Chen.
Potentially a dangerous play call. I think maybe Chen making that cut and not realizing that Yu was over her left shoulder.
Eyes on the disc. Yeah, makes it difficult to see the space that you're going into. What do you guys think?
I think it can be really difficult, those calls. I mean, each player is allowed to take up their own space on the field, obviously, and you can't be in the way of. Oh, and it looks like it was resolved pretty quickly. Yeah, so I mean, it seems like the foul that was called by Chen, potentially dangerous play, was accepted, and therefore it is a score. But
that's an incredible display of spirit.
Yeah, good
I would
spirit.
say from Brisbanites, resulting in a point as well. High fives all around. Really, really great display of spirit on both sides. Also, Chen for making the call if she thought there was an issue. She obviously didn't having that conversation. In a tense situation where it can result in a point. It's not the middle of the field and not impacting play. That resulted in a point. So really, great display of spirit from both teams.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's tough when you get too focused on the disc, especially in the end zone, and even a defensive player who is attacking the disc still has a right to their own space and their own direction. Just tough calls to navigate.
Regardless, we've got Brisbanites now coming out on offense. So we can see the assist Hunt in the end zone, resulting in the point to number 88, Max Chen. But Zodiac will be coming out on defense. And, a lot of what Brisbanites has been running in their defense, really heads-up awareness and getting the D if it's a 50-50. We've seen Zodiac coming out in like-kind. I'd love to see them step that intensity, that pressure up a little bit more, especially covering the open side with their positioning, starting out on the open side of their player. But I think they have that in them to really throw a wrench in the well-oiled machine that is Brisbanites offense. So now they'll have to do that in order to generate the turnover. In the meantime, Brisbanites really, just trying to close it out. It's going to be halftime. It's at 8. So it's going to be a game to 15 points.
Now that disc, from our perspective, landed on the line, but it seems like Brisbanites are taking it from the sideline right in front of the camera. Great angle here. We have 23 facing the middle of the field, doing a good job of taking all of the space she needs.
Taylor finding Skalska with the disc. Skalska finding Oregano Tarto.
Oh, and good job there from Wong to pressure that catch. That's a kind of a intensity that you were looking for earlier from Zodiac.
I love this Huang O'Sullivan matchup. Two really great players showing similar skill sets. Xiao launching it downfield, looking for Jessup. And is she in? She is. I love that connection.
Yeah, that was a quick decision from Xiao, and it paid off. Jessup's an excellent receiver. She's got really, she's fast. So if you're going to be throwing it to someone who you know can maneuver themselves in the end zone, you've got a larger range of throws you can throw to them. So good recognition from Xiao to Jessup.
Definitely. And Xiao's put a lot of power behind her throws in the past. I think the last one she had, it sailed a bit too far for her receiver, but in this situation, perfect. Just putting it into space for Jessup, showing what Brisbanites actually have been doing a really good job of. Into space, difficult to defend, running onto it, and great read from Jessup, seeing it safely into her hands.
And nice to see Zodiac had another receiver in the end zone if Jessup hadn't been across the line. So
and there's always that backup.
They had options.
Yes. They had options.
And that's a break for Zodiac. That's only their second break of the game. So they have got a little bit of a hill to climb at the moment if they want to be tying it up and taking a lead in this game. But they've as we said before, they get turns. They know how to do that. They just need to be able to hang on to the disc after the turn as well.
You know, I've seen wilder things happen. I've been on the losing end of wilder things, unfortunately, not just once, but many times. So, you know, all you really need is the momentum to swing. I think a lot of that is mental. I mean, it has swung, though. Zodiac has scored the last 2 points, but big plays, a lot of intensity. If they decide they really want to bring it and step it up. You know, it's within, I think, the realm of control, definitely for Zodiac right now. I have to say now is the time, but really 2 points ago was the time they've started it. But Brisbanites, in the meantime, it's their time to step up and, you know, score this point if they want to. They've had a few clean holds, so now is the option to repeat that.
We see Yu in her distinctive hat pick up the disc to Wong. Oh, and great dump coverage there, but, you know, the jinx, they work by you.
Yeah, really, really tight offense, tight, small cuts, but it's working really, really well. Oh, I love the lefty fake.
Yeah, you got to keep your mark on their toes, don't you? Oh, and I'm not sure who that was for. I think maybe that kind of slipped out of the thrower's hands there because it was kind of in the middle of the field, which gives Zodiac the disc.
Potentially.
Chen's been working really hard this game. Oh, I hate to jinx her with that call because that run through D by Brisbanites was emphatic.
And Edwards gets the bookends. Such a great job. Great awareness in the front of the stack. And, you know, when I'm in the front of the stack, you know it's a dangerous area. In that situation, was she baiting it? I feel like she baited that D. She knew it was a threatening area. She saw that and just came in. She read the future, did that crystal ball gazing. And then immediately, you can see she's already got separation from her defender.
Yeah, really using her momentum there.
Yeah, that's...
Sometimes when you're making that undercut and you're getting really close to the handlers as a downfielder, sometimes you don't want to run through the disc because you don't want to get in their space, but you really need to make sure that you're attacking that disc, even if you're going to be in what some people might consider the wrong space on the field. You know, it's been punished by Brisbanites before, and they're showing it that they have that pursuit of the disc again here.
Definitely hot pursuit of the disc. So that's enough to stop the momentum, the comeback train for the unanswered points, because Brisbanites have put another one on the board. The score now 11-6.
So we still have about 17 minutes of game left. But with the score currently sitting at 11-6, it's possible that the teams will just reach 15 before the time cap goes. With the with less wind today, the points have been a little shorter.
They have been, which is lovely to see, the cleaner defense coming out on the field. And especially, it's not the wind making the defensive play against the throw. It's the strong defense that we've seen Brisbanites playing, as we're seeing right now, or Zodiac on the field. We've got a wide open swing. I love that. I love that pass to the break side of the field.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and too low for the Zodiac receiver.
Yeah, we wanted to see the nose of the disc just up a little bit higher.
Yeah, absolutely. And potentially, you want to, I feel like sometimes releasing it low but sending the disc upwards rather than just relying on a slicey throw. Although slicey throws have been really good for Brisbanites.
Twinkle toes. Great footwork in the end zone as Saoirse O'Sullivan adding another stat to the board in her name.
O'Sullivan has had, I think that's her third goal. Yeah, absolutely. It's her third point of this game, so she's doing some hard work for Brisbanites at the moment.
She's going to feel good taking a drink of water after that point. She's got a hat trick in her name.
In the O'Sullivan name.
In the O'Sullivan name. Yeah, and as Rachel was saying earlier, in this economy, Brisbanites are out trying to make an affordable game, saving legs, saving time, relatively quick points on their part. Just finding the open player and executing well.
Yeah, kind of like the Brisbanites. They trust each other as teammates to know that I'm going to make this deep cut. Someone else is going to be willing to throw it to me. I'm going to make this cut early before I know where the disc is potentially, because I know that this is the right space. So I like that they have that trust and they rely on each other in that way. I mean, they're kind of putting their legs to work and it's rewarding them. And yeah, it's a great athleticism from that team.
Definitely. They've been putting the athleticism on display.
With the score now being 12-6 to Brisbanites, Brisbanites within a couple of, or 3 points of a game. We have Zodiac sending out some familiar names on the field now.
The pull comes up. That's a great pull. Going pretty far back. The team hustling down, Brisbanites hustling down in the zone that we've seen. And Zodiac, if they can continue to find those open players as they have been before, not forcing turnovers, that might be a forced turnover. Oh, incredible take.
Yeah, and I like the adaptation by Zodiac, having these three handlers back against this zone, knowing that Brisbanites are going to throw it.
Huang with the disc.
And yeah.
And that's it. That's what's been making me sad in the zone. I mean, you can argue that the zone is pressuring those turnovers, but I feel like it's just the execution issues. And it's just been so much more exciting to see Brisbanites generate those turnovers with match defense. The disc goes up to the middle of the stack.
I think it was a lucky grab. I mean, maybe luck's not involved. I don't want to diminish the Brisbanites' abilities here.
Oh, I'm not sure who was in. Oh, that was a point. Out of bounds, and out of bounds points is not a point. But great vision, difficult to see with the cluster of people there. Who is she throwing to? A wide open receiver, it turns out. Maybe she's wide open because it's out of the field of play, but a great connection.
I will say the lines on the field today on this tournament are black. It's kind of hard to see a lot of the time. I mean, white lines are a little bit easier. Sometimes when you're catching it close to the line, those little changes make it more difficult to be precise with your footwork.
Chen with an ankle breaking cut there. I think a little too early for initiation. Oh, great defense. We're seeing so much of this pressure. I love that. I love the defensive pressure. They made that turnover happen. They pushed that to happen. Doing so well. Giving them an opportunity and the decisive nod on offense. Wong.
Ooh, and a low shot. Trung George with a mark there that made that throw from you just really difficult to get around her mark. And there's an injury call. Black is subbing off for an injury. We'll have another Zodiac player come on. But yeah, that low throw, I feel like when I'm on the mark and someone throws that, I'm kind of happy. I'm like, I did my job. I got in the way. But that turnover from Zodiac was another execution slicey throw that was too low.
Huang racing to get open, fighting to get that open side, and she's there, putting it downfield for, I think, what was a bit of a miscommunication. We saw, sorry, that's Salatrovitz. Just kind of bailing out on that. The disc goes up, and wow, safe hands.
Yeah, good positioning by the Brisbanites player.
Yeah, I think Wong, we saw her, hand on mouth. I'm not sure if that's entirely what she had in mind. I would say that it was great.
So that's another break for Brisbanites within 2 of a game here. 2 points to 15 now. So we are kind of running out of time for Zodiac to make their comeback.
Brisbanites really showing, I think, such great command of the disc. Again, yesterday in those windy conditions, throws like that may not have connected. But the outside-in passes, the outside-in forehands do such a great job, case in point, of just dropping onto the receiver. Just dropping onto the receiver. So I think time and time again, while they're coming in at an angle, they're just so perfectly placed and difficult for Zodiac to play against defensively, to get the defensive play on.
Yeah, really precise from them, from Brisbanites. And I do wonder actually maybe if Zodiac is feeling the fatigue a little bit, because I think their throws have dropped off in accuracy on. And so we're seeing a couple execution errors now at the later part of the game.
Yeah.
Maybe they need to take a little bit more time when they have the disc. I mean, it's a little bit more time isn't enough to get your energy back if you're tired. But
I think with the zone, that would definitely help. I think Brisbanites' defense when they're playing match is just generating those turnovers. At the same time, if you want to save the legs as Brisbanites, keep that zone going, which they are right now, because, as long as Zodiac is making those errors themselves, let them make the errors. It's up to them to figure out how to fix that.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have Zhao with the disc now. Using more players back has been useful against the zone. It's working now. Zhao has had some hucks, but she chooses instead to just go down the line.
Sussing for options, looking for the reset. The disc goes high up.
And a little bit of contact between the two players, but it's decided that it doesn't affect the catch. So it's a turn now for Brisbanites. So we have a half of a field for Brisbanites to work, and slicey throw from Brisbanites, but that one didn't come off. Yeah, Hamilton.
She's not going to be stoked about that.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of frustration. We all know that feeling, or I've definitely thrown some throws that make me feel like that.
Oh, but it looks like she got a touch on the disc, not enough to stop that undercut from happening. And multiple options coming out now, looking for the reset. These swings have not been working for Zodiac. Yeah. The disc goes up, launching deep. And these strong receivers, the athleticism that they've had when chasing the disc down is not enough to reel that one in.
So we have Zodiac with a full field to work. Yeah, they've been kind of stifled. We don't see a zone right now. It looks like Brisbanites are only playing that zone off of a pole or when they have a chance to discuss it. Oh, great cut from the back there.
Bartle over to Kennedy. Oh, and that's a turn, giving Brisbanites another opportunity. Oh, was that Bartle with the D, or was that just bobbled out of the hands? Hard to tell, but a great defensive play regardless.
Yeah, great pressure by Bartle. She was also on the Kotari Women's Masters team who played in Los Angeles last year.
Yeah, just outside of Los Angeles, Irvine, California, same neck of the woods. High release disc goes up, looking for, I think that was O'Sullivan, sneaking its way out of bounds. Quite a few turnovers happening, kind of dragging out a little bit more as a point. We have Zodiac. Now, Zodiac, what has not been working so well for them is their swing throws. I think potentially a hard no around, hard no up line force is making that hard for them. The disc has been popping up popping up, on the swing throws here, popping up a little bit in the downfield as well. I'd like to see them make a bit more measured instead of leaning back and popping it up, throwing it a bit more flat towards their receivers.
Oof, and over the top
Another
of the
high
there.
throw. Bartle cleans up to her former teammate Xiao, launches it deep.
And that's just too floaty. Oh, not too floaty, sorry. It was very floaty, but the Zodiac receiver secured that.
Tong looking for resets, opts for a hammer.
Oh, I love a hammer, but unfortunately
I love an action roll. Yeah.
Unfortunately, that sunk too fast for Bartle to reel it in, but I just like a hammer. It's fun for us to watch those from the sidelines, especially now that we have some calmer weather compared to yesterday.
Definitely. Safer potentially sticking with a specific reset, but hammer definitely an exciting option. It's for the fans.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes even if the stall is, and we have a deep shot, or not deep shot, but a longer shot there. Oh, nice little float there to number 20.
Great connections. We've got Sturgis with the disc looking for a super reset. That's Hamilton.
Ooh, and
nice take.
Great take. They've had some really secure hands, even for those high throws there on the Brisbane Knights team.
Yeah, definitely. A great point, boom, boom, boom. Just seeing those connections on the open side. Classic Brisbanites. And, this is now within 1 point of taking game. It's now or never for Zodiac.
That's the third break in a row from Brisbanites, so that's been the last 4 points for them scored. And there's a timeout called by Zodiac, I imagine, trying to stop the flow of the Brisbanites offense.
Hamilton releasing, and I love that take. O'Sullivan time and time again showing her prowess as a receiver in the deep space, not just running onto discs with a hot closing speed, but here taking to the skies to tear it down safely into her hands. Now,
Yeah.
Zodiac right now, as we mentioned, now or never for them. This is the time to leave it all out on the field because, if they don't, Brisbanites are going to take the game.
Yeah, I mean, Zodiac hasn't had as strong a second half, I feel. I mean, potentially it's a bit of a fatigue thing. I mean, we did talk about how the Brisbanites roster is a bit short, but, not as many players, but it doesn't seem to have affected them nearly as much as you might expect. They've been running hard this whole game.
Interesting situation. I've talked about Brisbanites' match defense. They've been generating a lot of turnovers, but their zone has been just enough to allow for unforced errors. I think Zodiac has been able to find the open player, but they've been putting up the throws that have not completed. So interesting, either option for Brisbanites right now. If they want to stick with the match defense, it's a little bit more running, but it's so exciting to see kind of the defense that they've been playing. Nonetheless, throwing a zone could also be a good option. It's worked well, getting in the minds of Zodiac offense, forcing errors. Just an open player bobbling the disc, the throw not quite getting to where it needs to be. So either option has worked well. And now 1 more point, unless Zodiac digs deep and unlocks something we haven't quite seen yet, that's what they need to be doing to close out this point. It would make for an exciting game if they do. I hope they do. That would be quite fun.
Yeah, I mean, I quite like the zone from Brisbanites. I like how they're being specific about when they use it. They only want to play it for the first couple of throws. They're changing to match pretty quickly, and that change to match has been working for them as well in terms of they're not missing their matchups. They're making sure that they're covering the end zone first. I think that it's been quite intimidating for Zodiac to face up against, and Zodiac has been kind of maybe not trying to push through the middle of it as much as I'd like. They have single cutters, but I want I want truck and trailer, having one cut and then another following it to support, or perhaps, more over the top. I think that those over the top throws would work well. We've seen over the top slicey flicks, so around flicks from Brisbanites, but it doesn't have to be that. It can be a hammer, it can be a scuba.
So as discussed, they're running that zone again, finding Chen. And this is what I was seeing before. Again, Zodiac, they're giving options. It's the throws and the turnovers right now. Huang looking for a quick continuation.
I feel like Zodiac, they're rushing and cutting towards the player with the disc to try and get it, whereas I think maybe creating more space by just changing the angle of their cuts. There's no one on this whole half of the field.
Oh, wow.
Excellent grab by Black.
That's the type of zone offense. Oh, that's a good zone offense.
Yeah.
Pardon me. It's something that's good. It's good to see.
I mean, I do feel like, they could be using the field a bit more. We saw them all kind of clumped on that quarter of the field. So, I mean, it worked, obviously. But if they spread out a bit more, give themselves more options, perhaps they'd be in a different position score-wise.
We're accompanied in the booth right now by, of course, our colleagues at ULTI.TV, making this happen, bringing this all to you live, as well as our the voice of New Zealand Ultimate himself, Blair Monroe. And Blair's been keeping the stats. Jessup, we can see here with 3 assists, blocks, goals. She's got stats on the scoreline. She's got stats everywhere for Zodiac. But also, indicating on the field, he's done quite a bit of coaching in his time, but echoing that, Rachel, he was indicating the side. He's seeing it clumped over. We're all seeing the play clumped over, and it worked well in that point for Zodiac. But there is, again, the breeze is picking up a little bit. When the zoom pans out a little bit, you'll see the flags flying in that direction. The Canterbury Ultimate one at Ultimate Central, Tournament Central over there. So potentially making it difficult to swing the disc closer to the closer side of the screen as it is, again, a cross-field breeze. But it's very slight.
Yes, different direction to yesterday, opposite direction, but not really it shouldn't trouble most of these players at all. And a big shot. We had a bit of commiserations there.
I love
O'Regan Artaud. As soon as that left her hand, I think she realized that it wasn't what she wanted.
I think that's the best reaction I've seen to a throw, though. I'm sad it didn't work out, but I'm also happy that we saw a forward roll on the field. My condolences to her.
We see O'Regan Artaud with a smile on her face still. She's chasing that undercut now hard. So willing to put the work in on D, obviously. We have Tarong now surveying the field down the line.
Finding Murray, who's looking for options. Left out to dry. There's no reset. Quite a few options coming down. Yeah. It looked like there was tight marks. Sturgis was on Xiao there. And Xiao's indicating it looks like it could have been a bit of a backpack. It's a foul uncontested.
So that was a good to see quick resolution of the call. We have just heard the soft cap being called during this point. This game was always going to be game to 15, but that means that we have reached 90 minutes. We've been playing for an hour and a half now. Xiao trying to throw around the tall mark. Bit of a height difference there.
Murray looking for options. Great tenacity. Oh, that's that match defense that I love that Brisbane Knights has been playing. They're generating those turnovers. What a great play.
Kind of punishing Zodiac. Zodiac trying to shoot it down the line multiple times, and Brisbane Knights saying, we see that's what you're trying to do, and we're not going to let you get away with it too many times.
A flick blade coming out, and again, that little tail, the tail, it's showing its underside to the wind. While again, it's a slight breeze. That's going to give the breeze more opportunities to play with the disc and push it where it wants to be. That's not in the hands of the receiver. The disc goes too high. Bartel can't reel it in, giving Brisbane Knights another chance on offense.
Again, Zodiac trying to force it into that just down the line open side space. It's a smaller window. It's a small window to hit, and they haven't been able to do it consistently. Oh, nice little
ankle breaking. Oh, too much power. Hamilton looking to make those connections. Oh, sorry, that wasn't. Hamilton was the reset, potentially looking for that option.
That was O'Regan Artaud with the cut.
That's right.
They isolated her in that middle space, and she did a good job of cutting to put her defender on one side and then changing direction. Xiao now looking for the swing, but it's over the head of.
Oh, and she's calling a foul on that throw.
Oh, so it seems like there might have been some contact. Yeah, it looks like she was looking for Tarong George there.
Yeah, the disc sailing a bit too high for that. So we'll see that one more time. Yeah. So depending on whether contact happened, how it may have impacted the throw. Potentially on that first wee fake that Xiao put up. Disc is going back on the field. And we're hearing calls from the sideline, of course. You know, there's oftentimes classically and ultimately you have your O-line, your D-line, and the sideline. Sideline is telling the teammates, watch out for the winds, and as Bartle fires deep.
Oh, and a couple of Brisbanites players in the way, but that throw just didn't have enough float to get to the Zodiac receiver of Tarong George. I kind of liked the look of it, though. It had good momentum behind it in terms of there was a cut there for a long put, but the put just not long enough.
Needs a bit more sauce next time.
Needs a bit more wrist, needs a bit more grunt.
Zhuzh it up. I love the skipping. Energy as you know, Brisbanites looking to close out this point.
So we see again, Brisbanites isolating one player.
What a swing. You know, I really like this. Hamilton chasing it down and she gets it. Love that catch.
Oh, and and Skulska with the
you know, closing
there.
out, bringing style to this tail end of the game. Hamilton.
I want some composure now from Brisbanites. They just have to.
Taylor.
They just have to hold on to the disc now. They don't need anything fancy.
Wow.
Oh, and
just
on the
knocking
top of
on
the
the
end zone
door.
here. Again, don't need to get. Oh, there we go.
What a fun way
That
to
was a fun
close
point to
that
finish,
out. Yeah, bringing a bit of excitement to the tail end. Look, congratulations to Brisbanites. Hard fought, well played offensively, defensively. We saw so much coming out. And Zodiac leaving it all out on the field. Some incredible play from their team as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's heating up this morning. The wind's picking up. We're just warming into the day now, and both teams had put themselves on the line for this game. Brisbanites taking it pretty convincingly over Zodiac.
Oh, just again that backup, the excitement that we were feeling in the booth, the heat from the sun and on the field. Look, we'll be here all day, friends, whānau, Frisbee players. So stay tuned. Join us as it only gets warmer, and we're not just talking temperature, but with the semifinals, finals coming up, they'll all be streamed here on YouTube. Join us with ULTI.TV. Thank you so much for joining us for this game. Tune in soon. Until then, I'm Kelsey Bielik.
I'm Rachel Sihani Royal.
Matewa.
ULTI.TV.
Yeah, why are you not playing with us? Between games, stop your faces. Yeah, we're going to do that. 81. I've got some stats for you. You guys got awesome. We're playing over here.